Hello, good morning. Standing in front of the historic ancient court, Lincoln's Inn, today I will share my personal experiences, tour of London, got during my study period, as civil laws a wide range of areas like corporate, commercial, company, tort matters, based on trade, commerce, business dealings, contracts, rules, regulations, taxation, and so on. I will also share trade commerce issues and laws in my regular episodes, observing some virtual online tour areas, places, luxury resorts, villas, mansions, homes, farmhouse, hotels, markets, golf courses, yacht and cruise ships, skyscrapers, etc. of billionaires and millionaires with their personal lifestyles, trade, commerce, entrepreneurships, contributions, growing employments, taxation, GDP, environment, charities for economic sectors, society, and world people. Lawyers, as a stakeholder, we are assisting them to proceed their investments, business projects, business plans, giving legal assistance, advices, encouraging entrepreneurships, including their taxation management and as well as their duties towards employees with ILO conventions. Now, observing London, London is the capital and largest city of both England and the United Kingdom with a population of 9,840,740 in 2025. The City of London, also known as the City, is a ceremonial county and local government district with city status in England. It is the historic center of London. However, it forms only a small part of the larger Greater London metropolis. Total area of Greater London is 1,572 square kilometers, 607 square miles. This includes the 32 London boroughs and the City of London, the London metropolitan region, which encompasses a wider range area, covers 8,382 square kilometers. The city is a unique local authority area governed by the City of London Corporation, which is led by the Lord Mayor of the City of London. After a golden era of Muslim empire in Europe, as one of the world's major global cities, London exerts a strong influence on the world art, entertainment, fashion, commerce, trade, finance, education, healthcare, media, science, technology, tourism, transport, and communications. London is Europe's most economically powerful city and is one of the world's major financial centers. London hosts Europe's largest concentration of higher education institutions, comprising over 50 universities and colleges, and enrolling more than 500,000 students as of 2023. The Industrial Revolutions, also known as the First Industrial Revolution, was a period of global transformation of human economics towards more efficient and sustainable productions processes. It occurred between 1760 and 1840 century. Following the agricultural revolution in Great Britain, continental Europe, and the United States of America, these transformations include the replacement of manual production methods with machines, the emergence of new chemical industries and iron production process, the increasing use of water power and steam power, the development of machine tools, and the rise of mechanized factories. Production increased dramatically during this period, leading to both an increase in population pollution and population growth. The textile industry was the first to use modern production methods. The textile sector became a dominant industry due to its employment, production value, and invested capital. The term Fourth Industrial Revolution was first coined by a group of scientists who were developing a high-tech strategy for the German government. Carlos Schwab, executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, introduced the term in a 2015 article published in Foreign Affairs. Mastering the Fourth Industrial Revolution was the theme of the World Economic Forum's annual meeting held in Davos, Klosters, Switzerland in 2016. Schwab expects this era to be marked by a breakthrough era of emerging technologies in robotics, artificial intelligence, AI, nanotechnology, quantum computing, biotechnology, the Internet of Things, the Industrial Internet of Things, decentralized consensus, fifth generation wireless technology, 3D printing, and fully autonomous vehicles. Now AI technologies will serve the further development in fifth industrial revolution. We developed socialist, mutualism, or cooperatives, social justice, righteousness, democratic state in Dia United common era vision. However, together with Canary Wharf and the West End, the city of London forms the primary central business district of London, which is one of the leading financial centers of the world. The Bank of England and the London Stock Exchange are both based in the city. The insurance industry also has a major presence in the area, and the presence of the Inns of the Court on the city's western boundary has made it a center for the legal profession. The present city of London constituted the majority of London from its settlement by the Romans in the first century to Middle Age. It contains several historic sites, including St. Paul's Cathedral, Royal Exchange, Mansion House, Old Bailey, and Smithfield Market. The 18th century was a period of rapid growth for London, reflecting an increasing national population, the early stirring of the Industrial Revolution, and London's role at the center of the evolving British Empire. The urban area expanded beyond the borders of the City of London, most notably during this period towards the West End and Westminster. Expansion continued and became more rapid by the beginning of the 19th century, with London growing in all directions. To the east, the port of the London grew rapidly during the century, with the construction of many docks needed as the Thames at the city could not cope with the volume of trade. The arrival of the railways and the tube meant that London could expand over a much greater area. By the mid 19th century, with London still rapidly expanding in population and area, the city had already become only a small part of the wider metropolis. The city's population fell rapidly in the 19th century and through most of the 20th century as people moved outwards in all directions to London's vast suburbs, and many residential buildings were demolished to make way for office blocks. Like many areas of London and other British cities, the city fell victim to large scale and highly destructive aerial bombing during the Second World War, especially in the village. While St. Paul's Cathedral survived the onslaught, large swaths of the area did not, and the particularly heavy rains of late December 1940 led to firestorm called the Second Great Fire of London. There was a major rebuilding program in the decades following the war in some part, such as at Barbican, dramatically altering the urban landscape, but the destruction of the older historic fabric allowed the construction of modern and larger scale developments, whereas in those parts not so badly affected by bomb damage, the city retains its older character of smaller buildings. The street pattern, which is still largely medieval, was altered slightly in places, although there is a more recent trend of reversing some of the post-war modernist changes made, such as at Paternoster Square. The 1970s saw the construction of all of his building, including the 600 feet 47-story NatWest Tower, the first skyscraper in the UK. By the 2010, office space development had intensified in the city, especially in the central, northern, and eastern parts, with skyscrapers building 30 St. Mary's X, the Garkin Hall building, the Jish Greater 20 Francis Street, the Waikituki, the Borogate Tower, the Heron Tower, and 2020 Bishop Gate. The main residential section of the London city today is Barbican Estate, constructed between 1965 and 1976. The Museum of London was based there until March 2023, due to reopen in West Smithfield in 2026. Whilst a number of other services provided by the corporation are still maintained on the Barbican estate. However, four World Heritage sites are located in London: Kew Gardens, the Tower of London, the site featuring the place of Westminster, Church of St. Margaret and Westminster Abbey, and the historic settlement in Greenwich, which the Royal Observatory defines the prime meridian, 0 degree longitude, and Greenwich Mean Time. Other landmarks include Buckingham Palace, the London Eye, Piccadilly Circus, St. Paul's Cathedral, Tower London, and Trafalgar Square. The city has the most museums, art galleries, libraries, and cultural venues in the United Kingdom, including British Museum, National Gallery, Natural History Museum, Tate Modern British Library, and numerous West End theatres. Important sporting events held in London include the FA Cup final, the Wimbledon championships, and the London Marathon. It became the city It became the first city to host three Summer Olympic Games upon hosting the 2012 Summer Olympics. However, in 2024 fiscal year, the gross domestic product (GDP) of the United Kingdom amounted to around 2.56 trillion British pounds. Even environmental production spending by the government amounted to 1.5% of the United Kingdom's GDP in 2020 2022 as the part of the Paris Agreement adopted by 196 parties at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Paris in 2015.